the world leaders play their last card. These are the elders' prophecies concerning Ukraine and Russia, especially now that NATO forces are in Ukraine and the ports are closing for Russian ships not to be able to use the Mediterranean. At some point soon, the Ukrainians will become desperate, and desperate people do desperate things. Since the beginning of the Ukrainian counterattack on June 4, Ukrainian casualties have exceeded tens of thousands. Ukraine's leadership is in a desperate position today. He says August, I think, is, apart from the terrible heat, could be the month that changes everything. After August 15th, which is the Dormition of our Holy Mother, this is August 15th of this year, new or old calendar Christians, we will start to see governments fall, banks collapse, economies disintegrate, insurgencies, conflicts, etc., unless states agree to work together to prevent all this. But this 99.99% is not going to happen. And the author says, when I started writing this article, the elder contacted me without knowing what I was writing about. He gave me a very strong message and instructed me, when you see this soon, the points of what I told you in that, then publish this. The message has to do with what I'm writing, but also with something that will happen in Ukraine, and it will be a big surprise. This will be the cause of the beginning of the very serious events that we are waiting for. The blockage of Russia began in the Baltic Sea and the Black Sea, and the land blockade began. The stakes are too high. Everything points to a move to block Russia, when the closure of the Bosporus to all Russian ships. So Russia will not be able to leave the Black Sea, and they're also trying to close up the Baltic Sea. In other words, Russia is not going to have any sea routes towards Europe. Now, the land blockade of Kaliningrad and Belarus and the massive military deployment of Latvia, Lithuania, and Poland have taken place. For the first time, Poland, Lithuania, and Latvia moved military forces to the borders of Belarus and Russia, and we know Belarus is an ally of Russia. These three countries are preparing for a total land blockade of Belarus and, by extension, the Russian enclave of Kaliningrad. Basically, World War III is just around the corner. U.S. deploys B-52 nuclear bombers on Belarus's doorstep. B-52s begin flying all over the Baltic Sea. And the message of the elder, which was April 17, 2022, this was over a year ago. The Westerners will use the Baltic countries of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. The elder confirmed once again. He says, my children, they will make a decision to exclude Russia on all levels, in the sky, on the land, and in the sea. Even the oxygen they would like to cut off from Russia if they could. The Westerners know what's coming and what will happen, and then they will get together and hold a council. They want to trap Russia to the north using the Baltic countries. They will try to end the war there, but the war will suddenly avoid them. Something will happen that they will not expect. It will appear that they have trapped Russia upwards to the north, but where they think they have trapped Russia, there will erupt the volcano that will be called the Red Bear Wounded. Russia will be like a wounded bear from the betrayals against her, and in such a point that they will forget even their faith, because they will be like like wild beasts. Okay, Russia, it says here, the prophecy says Russia will be like a wounded bear from the betrayals against her. Who's going to betray her? Belarus? And what? Maybe China or her other allies? I don't know. I don't know what that means. But going on with this, and the elders' October 22nd prediction, if NATO enters Ukraine when Zelensky calls NATO to enter, it won't matter if they call it peace force, because this move by NATO for the Russians will be a cause of war. If that happens, then you will see a very different Russia, and it will turn into a raging bear that will not pity anyone, and it will be like volcanic lava that will wipe out everything in its path, and raged Russia will move south. How's it going to do that? South where? Is it Turkey? To catch the Bosporus, so it will be able to use the Black Sea and enter the Mediterranean. I don't know. I'm just hypothetically fantasizing what could be done. Now, he says, please do not ignore the signs of the times. Prepare even if you did not believe in what I wrote. The writer says, do what is humanly possible and then leave the protection of your family in the hands of Christ, because without his help, we don't have even a single day to survive. Evil will strike with all its forces. We humans, the only weapon we have is our faith in the Holy Trinity, in our Lord Jesus Christ, in our Holy Mother, the Virgin Mary, the archangels, and the saints. And this faith will conquer all dark forces. And this I've translated for you from a Greek article having to do with the elders' prophecies again. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.